Folks, what do you say? I mean, this is one of the most beat-up football teams in the NFL right now. Nevertheless, the Detroit Lions are also one of the best football teams in the NFL right now. You want to talk about eras of dominance? 15 consecutive games scoring at least 20 points. That's the most in the NFL. Detroit, statistically, its most dominant start since the 1930s. Its most dominant start in the division since like 1962. Tied for the best record in the NFL. 5-1 teams. Last year's Super Bowl teams, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the current Super Bowl favorite, the 49ers. Your Detroit Lions. And it's just something different and someone different every week. The Lions rushed for barely 40 yards against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who looked tremendous in those creamsicle jerseys. As a kid, I thought I was watching a game from yesteryear. We're wearing silver pants on the road, and the Bucs are wearing the creamsicles, but I digress. Doesn't matter. The Lions just figured out how to do a ball control passing game with Jared Goff just dinking and dunking, dominating the clock, moving the chains, finishing drives. Goff right now, by the way, is playing at an MVP level. If you look, my fellow Roar Ranters, at the last 17 games for Jared Goff, which is a complete NFL season, here are his stats. 67% completions, over 5,000 yards, and 29 touchdowns with just 4 interceptions. What do you call that? MVP. MVP of the league stuff. Just, he's playing out of his mind. He carried the team offensively. The defense said to Baker Mayfield, "We don't think you can beat us, so we're going to make you do it." And they were proven right. Didn't get a lot of pass rush, but didn't have a lot of breakdowns either. Not a lot of yards given up, not a lot of points given up. I mean, the Lions were only a 3-point favorite. They won a road game in the NFL by 14 points. That's not easy to do. I don't care who you're playing. I mean, did you all watch the Buffalo Bills try to lose at home to the Giants playing with a backup quarterback, one of the worst teams in the league with their backup quarterback? Did you all see the 49ers lose to the Browns with a backup quarterback? It is not easy to win games in this league. It's not easy to win games by 2 touchdowns, and it ain't easy to win games by 2 touchdowns when you're playing on the road. But was it really much of a road game for the Detroit Lions? Dan Campbell said afterwards that the roar of the Detroit Lions fans inside the stadium there at Tampa was so loud during the fourth quarter, he thought the Buccaneers might have to go to a silent count like they would if they were the road team. I've seen estimates of 25,000 Lions fans were at that game in Tampa. I mean, what's going on right now is incredible. And they just don't quit. They don't make a lot of stupid mistakes. They don't do a lot of things that hurt themselves. Think about Bobby Ross, the great disciplinarian, his infamous post-game rant, "I don't coach that stuff." You guys remember that way back in the day with all the false starts, right? "I don't coach that stuff." He got lionized. But these aren't the same old Lions anymore. These are the brand new Lions. These are the Lions where a third-string running back comes off the bench and levies what might be the greatest block I've ever seen in an NFL game. Craig Reynolds, that block, especially in today's NFL, where crackback blocks, which we used to call football, are now 15-yard penalties, okay? It's hard, man, to level a guy with a just devastating block in today's NFL. But Craig Reynolds, he didn't manage that. He leveled 2 guys with 1 block. And there's an incredible photo. I wish I could remember who posted it. There's an incredible photo of Amon-Ra St. Brown catches this pass short of the first down marker from Goff. And he looks up and he's surrounded by 3 Buccaneers, and there's no other Lions in the picture. Oh, it was Jeremy Reisman at Pride of Detroit podcast. He posted it. There's no other Lions in the picture, and he put the caption, Amon-Ra St. Brown scored a touchdown on this play. How did he do that? Because Craig Reynolds comes out of freaking nowhere, man. Like the Avengers on your left. I mean, it was incredible. Just like a heat-seeking missile, dude, and just destroyed two Buccaneers. And Amon-Ra St. Brown looks like he's going to get tackled short of a first down, just gallops into the end zone instead. But let us not bury the lead here. The biggest play of this game, and the one that blew this game open and put the Lions firmly in control the rest of the way. Number 9 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts. Jameson Williams catching the bomb from Jared Goff right after he had just dropped a pass, by the way, that should have been a first down. And instead, he makes the far more difficult catch where he's got to adjust on the ball midair, 50 yards downfield, and he catches it for a touchdown with a defender draped all over him. And that pretty much was the game. That was the game-determining play, that play from Jameson Williams. If he's going to provide that or the threat of that consistently every week, that just changes the whole trajectory of this team. Because now you're dealing with a Tyreek Hill level presence with the amount of solid physical football that the Lions play everywhere else. It's just a ton of fun to watch, man. The guys are tough, they're gritty, but most of all, they're good. And as we sit here in mid-October, the Lions, the Detroit Lions, who have not won a division title since 1993 in living color, was still a hit TV series back in the day. And yet, that same team with the longest division title drought in all of American team sports is sitting here with a 3-game lead. A 3-game lead in the loss column. I'm sorry, in the win column in their division. And look who they've beaten. They won at Lambeau. They just beat a first-place team in the division at home by 2 touchdowns. Won at the defending Super Bowl champions on opening night. Only loss was to a playoff team last year who looks like a playoff team this year, Seattle, in overtime. The worst this team's going to do, Baltimore on the road this week will not be easy. Never easy to go in there and win. But you're also catching them off of one of those foreign trip games. So, maybe there's a bit of a scheduling advantage there. But looks like you might be beat up. David Montgomery likely out with the ribs. Who knows if Jahmyr Gibbs is back. But okay. You don't win at Baltimore. You go into the bye 5-2. And you come back. And you've got the Raiders on Monday. Oh, the Raiders are after. The bye's after the Raiders. That's right. So you go 5-2. You got the Raiders. You go into the bye at 6-2. Dude, that's the stuff of pursuing the number 1 seed in the NFC. It's crazy. The Lions had the second best record in the NFL over the last 16 games, going back to last year. That is absolutely nuts, but it's also not a fluke. Enjoy it. I am. We've been waiting decades for this.